manipulated system. Most of you who are young like me, we were born into this system. But that's not what can allow Burkina to thrive. Because in this situation there are only two cases. Either we accept to fight or we remain slaves forever. I told you once, there are those who are slaves in their minds. They can only serve their master. And those people try every time to manipulate you. You must advise each other. Because every situation can be exploited by these enemies of the nation to try to discourage you, to demotivate you. So, you must advise each other and not pay attention to certain remarks, even on some media. Not everyone is obliged to be patriotic. You are the first patriots. You have decided to defend the homeland. There is nothing better than that. Those who want to support you, let them support you. Those who want to discourage you through writings, you must close your ears and move forward. As for those, we will fight them here. So, we must remember something. Recently, there is a so-called NGO. It's not even an NGO. Because NGO stands for non-governmental organization. They are not non-governmental because they are funded by a federal budget, by a state. This so-called NGO produces reports claiming that the FDS and the VDP commit abuses. It went in here, it came out there. It's to tarnish your morale. It's to scare you, to prevent you from being able to fight. No. Moreover, we are going to file a complaint against this NGO because people need to understand something. What is happening to us here? It's true that they have manipulated part of our populations in the Sahel here, but they didn't have that kind of weaponry. What brought such significant weaponry into their ranks? It's Libya. Who destroyed Libya? It's this NGO, the same NGO that made false reports and gave them to those who wanted to create a rebellion so that people would intervene and overthrow Gaddafi. And the powder keg ended up being poured into the Sahel. These millions of lives that have been taken in the Sahel, we must file a complaint against this NGO because it is responsible for these false reports it made to support this thesis of attacking Libya. They have no moral lessons to give us. Look at the world. Let them go defend human rights all over the world first before coming here. We are fortunate to have similar situations in this world. You voluntarily committed yourselves. There are countries where people are forcibly taken, killed. You leave or you die. Others, even while trying to flee, end up dying. They don't talk about human rights because these people see us as subhumans. They see us as slaves. That's how it is in their minds. They have never changed their mindset, but it's up to us to show them that we are not slaves and we will never accept this state of affairs. So don't be fooled by the stories. They tell to anyone who will listen. You must stay focused on your fight. Stay focused. We know what we are doing. And even now, the VTP commander told me that there is a human rights training session underway for group leaders and their deputies. If we make efforts, we know it's for ourselves. We no longer do things to please someone else. We do it for our homeland. And you are committed to that. Defend your homeland. Do not listen to those individuals. They should not affect your morale. In the history of the world, there have been wars. And during the Second World War, people organized themselves to defend all over the place. But there is a country that could not defend itself, which had to come and take our ancestors to go defend them. And today that same country wants to give us lessons. the pot calling the kettle black. No. You are the descendants of those same ancestors who went to defend others, who liberated the world from Nazism. Today you are fighting for your lands. These same individuals dare to create terms to tarnish you. We oppose this. We will never agree. Continue to defend your lands. It is your wealth that interests these people. It's our gold, it's our minerals that interest them. Otherwise, why come and drive out entire villages to seize our lands? So we will fight and we will reclaim our lands, our wealth. It belongs to us. It's for us. It will benefit us and our children. I therefore encourage you to remember that this war is to free us from slavery. It's for our independence. And you must keep your spirits high, stay strong. Never give into manipulators, to those individuals who no longer understand the notion of homeland, or to those people who come from outside to try to subdue us through their terms they invented and their organizations they created to enslave us. Fight, move forward, do everything you can. Draw, as I said, from your cultural resources, from what you have been shaped by since the village. Draw from it and wage this war. Stay focused.
Okay, yeah, still speaking on the height that this young man, Ibrahim Traore, have actually reached in, I think, in approximately 2 years since he assumed office in Burkina Faso. You know, you'll be shocked that people are still protesting against him, in as much as, you know, those Burkina Faso citizens that were protesting against him in France, you know, I feel those people were paid. I feel they were all paid to do that. These countries, these great countries, have actually gotten to their greatness as a result of, you know, how they've sucked the African heritage, how they've sucked Africa of its natural resources. Now, I heard from the news that the major reason why is as if the France and the rest of the world are fighting, some, not the rest actually, France and some of these other countries, you know, are trying to bring down Ibrahim Traoré, is the fact that they feel he is going to ally with the Russian, and that would be a total disaster for them. In as much as we also know that they are interested in their natural resources, but the major reason why, you know, want to talk about this young man again, because for the past how many weeks we've tried as much as possible to bring him, you know, closer to the same thing that we are fighting for in Biafran land. People are saying that he was actually, I think most of these young leaders who are coming out now to defend Africa, to defend their heritage, they've actually, most of them were actually motivated or inspired by Nnamdi Kanu and the moves Nnamdi Kanu has been making for a very long time. You might not necessarily understand. Nnamdi Kanu still remain, you know, one of the greatest people living currently in Africa. And he is well recognized and respected all over Africa. Fighting the zoo is not just a normal thing. You see, zoo, people do not understand how corrupt the zoo is. the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom Nigeria is a corrupt entity. That is why they can give out 50% of or 70% of their natural resources just to get what they want. If you're not for them, if you're speaking against them, they will do everything possible, to frustrate you off. Exactly what they are doing to Nnamdi Kanu, exactly what they are doing to Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoko, exactly what they've done to the rest of these freedom fighters and Biafrans who have come up, to speak. But it doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop there because they can only continue to try. But to what end? To what end? So, my beautiful people, once again, I want to welcome you to Let's Talk TV this wonderful Monday sit at home. It's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful Monday sit at home, and I can assure you that a lot is happening in Biafra land because Biafrans are sitting at home as it is hot. Now, also speaking on that, a very important message have been sent to Ibrahim Traore from the Biafrans. The Biafrans have sent a very important information, a very important message to the man of the moment, that is Ibrahim Traore, concerning a very important issue, against the indigenous people in Africa, Biafrans especially. So watch this video, it's very important. You watch this video and try as much as possible to share this important video to as many groups and platforms as possible. God bless you.
Breaking news. Direct message to President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso from the United States of Biafra. Here are the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is 27th of April 2025, and I have some video clips and message to Ibrahim Traoré and also for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people. This very broadcast that I'm making right now is strictly for President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. And I have a very important message to him all the way from the United States of Biafra land. So please, once you come across this very message, I want you to do the needful. It will be of help, not just to Burkina Faso people, but also for Africa at large. And before we continue, I'm going to play you two clips of video from different sources. After playing the videos, I will then send the message to President Ibrahim Traoré. And this message is coming all the way from Biafra land. So please, it will be very, very important that this very all-important message gets to Ibrahim Traoré, not only for his security or the security of his own people, but also for the betterment and the revolution that is long overdue in Africa. So pay attention as I play these two videos for you. Even though you have watched them before, relax. The most important is the message which will be sent to Ibrahim Traoré. These two videos is to build my foundation. So pay attention while we move.
It's about Ibrahim Traoré, the Burkina Faso president. I have to say I was very, very disappointed. Very, very disappointed to hear that Burkina Faso citizens abroad were protesting against his government. How can you protest against someone who is effectively changing geopolitics in Africa? How can you effectively say that you are protesting against Ibrahim Traoré? What has urged me to respond on this platform is because someone wrote to me through my people asking me to address the Ibrahim Traoré situation. It is clear to me that there is an issue with his leadership. And when I say an issue, not necessarily an issue, but people are worried and concerned about how he is conducting and making sure that he effectively caters for Burkina Faso citizens. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't seem to understand why Burkina Faso citizens abroad were protesting if it wasn't because you have been paid to protest. He, in my view, from what we can gather, has had 18 assassination attempts. That is a world record. 18 assassination attempts. And I'm talking about fake assassinations. 18 assassination attempts. That is worrying. I'm calling on all African leaders to do what we can to protect Ibrahim Traoré. I know that not all African leaders support the way he has taken over power. But it is clear to me, and it is clear to those who want to get rid of him, and those protesting, and those who support him, that he is very, very effective as a leader. And I am supporting Ibrahim Traoré all the way. All the way. I would not repeat this. Ibrahim Traoré has all my support. And to all Burkina Faso citizens, both abroad and in your country, make sure you fall behind your leader. What we are experiencing in Africa is great. He's changing geopolitics for the better. And for those who are planning assassination attempts and assassination coups, it will not work. It will not work. Africa must protect Ibrahim Traoré. Thank you.
Now, this is the first video, and I want you to pay attention as we watch the second video, because the second video is very, very important. This is the foundation of this very broadcast and the important message that will be sent to President Ibrahim Traoré, which is the most important thing that everybody will hold dearly on this very broadcast, that will make you send it to Ibrahim Traoré and his people. Pay attention as we continue.
You see, we were not there when Patrice Lumumba of Congo was assassinated by the CIA and the Belgian government in 1961. We were not. We weren't born when Kwame Nkrumah was removed in a coup by the same CIA in 1966 on a trip to Vietnam. When Thomas Sankara was assassinated by France and his right-hand man in 1987 in Burkina Faso, we were very, very young. And even when Muammar Gaddafi of Libya was brutally unalived in 2011 by NATO, we were uninformed and thought it was for the good of Africa. Do you know what's common between Lumumba and Nkrumah? They were seen too close to Russia. It was a threat to the West. Today, in our own eyes, they are coming again to remove another great African. Captain Ibrahim Traoré is seen too close to Putin of Russia and must therefore be removed. That's the agenda, ladies and gentlemen. This time, with all the information we have as Black Africans, what are we going to do about it? How will history remember us? What will we say when history talks about our generation? Did we put up a fight? Did we stand up? Did we say something, or did we look the other way, thinking it was too far away from our doors? Ladies and gentlemen, that time is here to stand for something. France and the US government have decided to take down Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso by any means necessary. What's your stand on this matter? Can't we, as the people of Africa, throw the biggest continental march or demonstration ever in support of our brother? From Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Gambia, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Cameroon to Ethiopia, can't we put together a simultaneous march on the same day across the continent of Africa in support of this young hero? I believe we can, ladies and gentlemen, and nothing should stop us. And I believe we can start discussing this in the comment section, if that's something you would like to see.
So we all have watched these two video clips that I played. There are other similar videos like this trending on the social platforms as I'm speaking to you right now. Many videos, people are lending their voices all across Africa, from the length and breadth of African continent. everybody is rising up to speak against the evil plans of the West, against Burkina Faso's military president, Ibrahim Traoré. Now, I want to lend my own voice from the nation of Biafra, and my own will definitely be different. People are calling for protests all across Africa to protect Ibrahim Traoré and to protest against the Western powers that want to take him out, just as they have done both in the olden days and in recent times. At least we all saw, those of you, the adults, we all saw how they murdered Muammar Gaddafi. They called him all sorts of names only for them to take him out. They used media to blackmail him, gave him names just for them to take him out. And they succeeded using his own people. And today, Libya is a no-go area. Libya has been ungovernable till today since the unaliving of Muammar Gaddafi of Libya. So this is the one that just happened recently. It also happened in Tanzania recently, where the former Tanzanian president Magufuli was mysteriously unalived just for the West to have their ways in Tanzania, because that man was doing a great job. You see, you keep on counting and counting, and it's endless. And you think they're going to stop? No, they're not going to stop. Now, this is my message to Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. I will come from a different angle, not what others are saying, and it's going to take a very strong mind to process this very bitter truth that I'm about to say and understand it. You must, you must be selling on the same frequency, just like me, for you to understand the message that I'm about to pass to Ibrahim Traoré. If you are not selling on the same frequency, especially if you are not a Biafran, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to understand the message that I'm passing right now to Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. Number one, we all must agree this is the beginning, the genesis of both the problem and my message. We all must agree that all the countries in Africa that were created by the West, especially the British and the French, we all must agree that all these countries are seen as companies in the eyes of the Western powers, especially Britain and France. I want to give you an illustration for you to begin to process this very bitter truth until you come to the reality. If we understand and believe that these countries created by the Western powers are seen as companies in their eyes, then you will agree with me that the presidents you have in African countries today are managers. Pay attention, I'm taking you somewhere. All the presidents that you have today in Africa are all managers. They are managing the companies of these Western powers that created these companies in the name of countries in Africa. Let us use Nigeria as an example. In the first place, Nigeria was known to be the Lower Niger Company, run by Lord Frederick Lugard. Now, they changed it and made it Southern and Northern Protectorate. From there, they matched them together by fire by force at the gunpoint, and they become a country that you know today as Nigeria. So, we are calling it country, but in their eyes, it is a company. Why is it a company? In the first place, it is a company. Then, in the second place, they are making a living. They are growing their GDP and the economy through these companies that they created in Africa year in, year out. From olden days till today, they are still, boosting their economy from the companies that they created in Africa and called them countries. Is it true or false? This is the bitter truth. Now, how do we do it? How do we go about this? Anybody that will forcefully remove the manager of these companies, just like you fought so hard, you struggled and built a company and install a manager to manage it. All of a sudden, somebody from somewhere forcefully remove your manager. Are you going to sit back and watch that person to run your company and ruin your company to your own detriment? Will you sit back and watch that person who forcefully remove your manager to ruin your company to your own detriment? And that person ruin your company to your own detriment is using the benefits and the proceeds that is coming out from that your company to benefit the workers of your company who are of different families. This is what is going on in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso still remains the company of France. It's a French company in that part of West Africa. So Ibrahim Traore and his team forcefully removed the manager, the French manager, the puppet that was there, and now ruined the company to the detriment of France. Then, as he ruined this company, he is using the proceeds to benefit his own citizens. And France cannot sit back, fold their arms, and watch this happen or continue. They must fight and fight and fight until they succeed and gain back access to their company, which is Burkina Faso. So how do you do this? And how do you break the jinx? How do you break the hands of France in order for them not to succeed in, unaliving Ibrahim Traore and gaining back access to their company, which is known as Burkina Faso? My message to Burkina Faso President Ibrahim Traore today is very simple. You are a great man, but I want you to know that you will not succeed in this fight because the powers that be will definitely find a way to remove you. So how do you do it? Gather all your cabinets, all the military heads from all the tribes in Burkina Faso. Have a closed door meeting with them. Only the top commanders from all the tribes in your country, all the tribes, and make it known to them that the only way to remove the hands of France's colonial masters and the West from your country is total disintegration. You must go back to the root. Before the invasion of France to that soil, you must go back to the root. And remember, in this modern world, colonization is over. In this modern world, there will never be colonization again. The only thing that is thriving now is neo-colonization. By them using the managers that they install as presidents in Africa to continue to colonize African countries, which is known as neo-colonization. So, when you disintegrate Burkina Faso and allow the small tribes who understand each other and share the same common value system, the same culture, and they are together, though they speak different languages, they can vote in referendum to merge as one country. Those small tribes that cannot manage themselves, they can join hands together with all the small tribes within them that understand each other and share common value system, the same culture, but different languages. They can come together and form a country, while other bigger tribes in Burkina Faso will go their separate ways and rule themselves as separate and independent nations. That is the only way the plans of France and West entirely will be completely ruined and destroyed in Burkina Faso. Only that, because once that happens, they will never be able to come back, invade these tribes, these nations, to recolonize them in this modern era. It's not possible. Are you paying attention? This is the only way. I want you to know that this fight, even though all African youths troop out en masse on the street to protest on your behalf, to stand in solidarity with you, this fight will never end. France will never allow you to succeed by ruining their company. This message is very simple but very difficult both to understand and to implement. Very, very difficult. By the time the company is disintegrated, France will remove their hands because they can no longer do anything. To your tent, O Israel. Everybody will go their separate ways and rule themselves. Then within yourselves, you can have international, bilateral agreements and relationships with anybody that you want, or within yourselves. You can have international trade and do things as usual, like brothers and sisters in that very region. But now, as independent nations within yourselves. Even you, Ibrahim Traoré, your own people from where you come from, your own tribe, which will subsequently become a nation, a country of its own, will still want you to rule them. They will still want you to lead them as their leader, as their president, or whatever name you want to bear. They will still want you, they will still vote for you, they will still want you to continue with them. But you must have saved lives, the lives of your own people. Forget about this big entity, Burkina Faso. No, this is the only way to save your people, save your own dear life and your family, and also remove the hands of France and the West in your country. This is my message. And not only Ibrahim Traoré, also other leaders, especially these military juntas. This is the only way to go. That is the reason why Biafrans are fighting to free themselves from the shackles of Britain and the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, so that other African countries will follow suit. I'm telling you, this is the only way. It may be difficult, very difficult to accept and to implement, but there is no any other way apart from this. No any other way. No one, nothing. As long as that company remains, as long as that company that you call a country, Burkina Faso, remains, France will never remove their hands from that company, because that company belongs to them. The same thing is happening to all African countries all over African continent. Until there is total disintegration of Africa, we will never be free from West. Thank you, my people. To salo no mozia and make it go viral.